Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dahil mihi Anglican po, is
that correct?
Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. How's everybody doing tonight? How are your voices? You up for a little more fun? We are trying to find the link here. They haven't posted it yet. Well, the link they posted goes to the wrong feed. Let's put it that way. We are anticipating very shortly to have access to the Canton Select Board meeting, which is the first Select Board meeting since, turn that down just a little bit, since the jury came back and said we're hung. Now, I want to show you a couple things here first, so let me show you what I'm dealing with. I'm saving the last of my water till later. Got one more swallow of water. I've got to hear the music so many times today. At least like 6 or 8. It's been a lot. Thanks for the kind words, SoCo Judy. I appreciate it. Love your intro track. Thank you, Dwayne Harris. Appreciate that as well. I love it as well. That's why I chose it. Tweety Tweet. Welcome to the gallery. Good to have you with the green courthouse by your name. Looks great. Thank you for your support. Chat is not on the screen. No, it is not. But if it were, all you would see is that guess who won? Greeners. First in chat this evening. Congratulations, Greeners. Once again, the internet is all yours, my friend, to take care of. I'm beginning to think you like this punishment. Beginning to think you've figured out how to do it. All right. This music gives me vertigo. No joke. It does have a little bit of like a surging sort of feel to it with the volume, almost like it's like a rotating speaker. What's that effect called? I don't know, but all right. Wild Town meeting tonight. It could be. Let's show you first what I'm dealing with as far as looking for the schedule. Okay, where's my mouse? There we go. Here we go. Here we are on the Canton Community TV. Oh, my microphone's loose. That's not good. Fixed it. That's better. Canton Community TV page. They have our stations. They have the community station, which it's sort of hard to see because the font is really thin. They've got their student station, and they have the government station. This is one we're interested in. This, like only the government of Canton can do. I want you to read through this little description over here next to this picture of, I don't know what military leader. But they use freelancers to guarantee coverage of Canton's local meetings. We cover the selectmen, the health board, conservation, zoning, planning board, finance committee, subcommittees. You can watch these meetings live and repeated on the station. Note the school committee is seen live and repeated on the student station. So watch the government station live stream here. Search for meetings in the search box here. These are both links. Old government videos from October 2010 to October 2019 are now available by request. Contact us. This link here is no longer available. What? This link here is no longer. Why do you edit the link to say the link's not available instead of just deleting the link as any proper web person could do? Of course, what do I want to do when I see this? Well, I want to click the link, which apparently is still there. I'm going to open that in a new tab and see exactly where that takes us. New tab goes right here. Oh, look, the page can't be found. You're right. It's not available, but you left it there for everyone to click, and now we're clicking it more than ever. You could have just deleted it, and no one would have been the wiser. Canton, get on it. Get up to date. All right, so that chat link is no longer available. I think I just swallowed a bug nearly. Tiny one, like a flying bug, not the kind that, I have problems with.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know who won.
No, not that kind. So we're going to say we want Watch the Government Station live stream here, which we're going to open link in new tab. There we go. We've got the government link. I assume you click the play button, right? This is how I think this works.
Actually, allow
This shows
Attorney Matthews
6:26.
to go ahead and speak if you wish to, if you wouldn't mind sitting at the desk and discussing it, in the hopes that they show up shortly. So
thank you. Yes,
you're
Sam
welcome.
Matthews, representing the runners of the JRC.
What I think is
Center.
happening right here is that that they are replaying old videos, and that once this, because it shows we're live right here, it shows we're live. This is live. They're replaying old meetings. Once it hits the new meeting, it should go live to the new one. That's my hope. I've got my fingers crossed. There is another. If we go down here, let's try this. Let's see here. Search for meetings and search box here. We're not going to search. Old government meetings are here, and then there's the other link here. If we go down further, we've got click for streaming live meetings. I'm going to do this in a new tab because I want to save this one. So now here's the new tab. Let's play this one. Same.
There are other configurations.
This is not the what we want, but this is fun. This is fun. This is going to be the setup for how this is covered tonight. I believe there is a meeting tonight, because if we go back and look, let's see, it's on, I think, was that on camera 3? Hang on one second. Oh, it's still on camera 7. I'll bring it over here. Here we go. Here is cantoncommunity.org, okay, which is very similar to cantoncommunitytv.org. But this, yes, it's actually the same thing, Canton Community TV. This page right here, if you scroll down, I think it's actually the same page I was just on. I've just opened another copy. Live on government TV station. It's streamed live. Select board, Tuesday, July 8th at 7 p.m. What's wrong with this picture? Well, I can tell you that something is wrong in this general area. I would say between those two marks. It's somewhere in the highlights. Because at least this year, July 8th does not fall on a Tuesday. July 8th was yesterday. Today is July 9th. So if it's Tuesday, because there wasn't a meeting yesterday, it has to be July 9th at 7 p.m. So we're expecting that the meeting is actually going to happen. We've got links all over the place that we can go to, and every single one of them points to, you guessed it, this old meeting. So that's where we are. We're moments away, about 5 minutes away. We should get a live feed as soon as it happens. We'll bring it to you. Trust me, I've got all the links up and running. And let's see, I'm going to keep this one silenced there, and this one here. That's a better picture. It's going to be good. While we wait for Canton to connect from their latest board meeting. Are you guys able to see that? Yeah, you are. Okay. We're gonna keep these running in the background while we wait for them to connect with the latest board meeting, because this is the old one. I have to tell you about my cat. My cat is spoiled rotten. Although it's an outdoor cat, we don't bring it inside. Hey, look, they updated. Yay, go Canton. They got with the times. That means I'm going to close these extra videos that we don't need. I'm going to just shrink this one down in case for some reason I lose it. It needs to come back. Let's go full screen here. Make sure we have audio. It's live. We're good. And let's see, let's record. We need audio from, this is on 7, right? Audio's on. Okay, once it starts, we're going to go there. My cat is spoiled rotten, first of all. And, go away. Tell me that little bar is going to, yes, it's going to go away. Do you want the link? Can you drop that link in chat? It's just cantoncommunitytv.org will get you here. There's like 6 different ways you can get there, but now it's actually going to work. My cat's spoiled rotten. He sits out on our deck in the corner of one of our like little pillars of the deck because it's the coolest area because it's hot outside. It's blazing hot. And he will not drink water out of a dish. No, my cat, believe it or not, drinks Deer Park water only if you pour it for him. And he will drink it as it falls out of the bottle. He will not drink any other water. You can fill up his dish, and it's like sweltering hot, and he's going like, meow, meow, meow. He'll look at it. You can like splash your fingers in the dish bowl and show that it's water. Nope. Doesn't care. He wants you to pour it for him, and he'll drink it then. Needs a cat fountain. I didn't know cat fountains were a thing. Now, wait. Before you think he's spoiled rotten, if you leave him alone, we had a bucket full of water that we used to throw our sparklers in on the 4th of July. And it's an old bucket full of like that we've used for painting and everything. It's a trash bucket. Okay, you don't want to put anything good in there. Full of water. It's gray water to begin with. We're throwing sparklers and things in it. You look over. The cat is balanced on the edge of the bucket, face down, licking up the firework water. I don't know why. So it likes really bad water, like stale, stagnant wheelbarrow rain collection from last week, full of mosquitoes. It likes that water and Deer Park water. I will look into a cat fountain. I don't know how we can do that, but who trained him to do that? My kids. My kids trained him with my Deer Park water. Anyway. All right. Try a fountain. I'll have to look for that. Let's see. Smurf Anna, thanks for the news. They just announced the jury has been seated in the Baldwin trial. We'll be back with Baldwin tomorrow. That's when we start following the court gavel to gavel as we follow everything that happens and explain everything that we can and talk about the things that we can't. So we're excited for that to go underway. The jury's been selected, which they thought they could do in a day, and they did, which is wonderful. It is going to be a short trial, and honestly, it's a compressed schedule. Like I think you're going to hear that repeatedly from both sides, that they don't have much time. Some of the motions in limine that were granted yesterday helped a lot by eliminating some of the evidence that might have come in. So maybe 5 days is enough time for the state now. But it's going to be about a week for the state testimony and then a couple days for defense, and then we're on to jury deliberation. So I'd be surprised if this goes over 2 weeks. Let's see. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's good to see you here. And I see a cat in your profile picture as well. Is it Helene? Helene? All right. It's 7 o'clock straight up. I just want to confirm that I'm live. We are live. It is playing. Everything is looking good. We have our audio running. Camera 7 is the feed. I won't touch that while it's going. We're good. Okay. So I'm going to start the record. Turn this audio off. There we go. Green or blue? What? I forgot what I was talking about. Green or blue what? I like both colors, green and blue. I don't know what the question was. Angela just sent me an email. Thank you, Angela. Let me check that. Here we go. I'm going to move to the top corner.
Thank you. All right, good evening, everybody. We are resuming our open session. We had an executive session earlier, so we are just resuming our open session at 7 o'clock. But welcome to the Select Board meeting of July 9th. As a reminder, this meeting is being recorded by Canton Community Television, and our Vice Chair, Mr. McCourt, is out of town, so he will not be joining us. So first item on the agenda is again public comment. So as I have been doing previously, I will read this statement. The public comment portion of the meeting is an opportunity to listen to residents' feedback and concerns, but the public comment portion of the meeting is not meant to be a question and answer format. There will be no response to any public comment when presented. The public comment portion of the meeting is limited to 15 minutes total and 3 minutes per speaker. I would encourage those that do wish to speak to be mindful of others in the room who wish to do the same, so that we can make the most of the time allotted and hear from as many people as possible. Anyone who does not wish to speak or who is unable to speak due to the time limit may submit their comments in writing for the board's review and consideration. The Select Board will also announce the next open office hours at our next Select Board meeting. So that being said, we will begin our public comment period at 7:01.
He just set the timer. Here's the attendees. Take a look. We've got
Christine
news
Smith,
cameras.
50 Coppersmith Way. Nearly 1 year ago, I stood before this Select Board and spoke about the need to update the Select Board's administrative code as it relates to standards, policies, and ethics of Select Board members. After submitting my comments, Town Administrator Charlie Duty let me know that his office would work on this, and they thought it would make sense to perform a complete update of the administrative code, not just this one section, and that made total sense to me. I offer my sincere thanks to Mr. Duty as well as to Jen Kamelian from the Select Board office for all of their work on this issue. However, the revision to the standards, policies, and ethics seems to have gotten a little derailed. I'm not sure if it was due to an attempt to include other boards, or maybe this is going to fall under the Bylaw Modernization Committee. I'm not sure. But either way, we continue to see that certain Select Board members continue to ignore the spirit of the current guidelines, notably swearing at and threatening to assault an individual on the sidewalk right in Canton Center. I stand here today to renew my request for the Select Board to take action on this matter. You represent the town and all the citizens, not just the ones who voted for you. And yes, as public officials, you are held to a higher standard. This continued behavior reflects poorly on the town and has the potential to expose the town to liability. To be clear, this is not about the Reed case or any other matter. It is about leadership and leading by example. It is disingenuous to sit there and object to lack of civility when one of your own members acts in an uncivil manner with no comment or consequences from the rest of the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Smith.
Resetting the timer.
Hello, Canton. I'd like to reintroduce myself. My name is Colleen O'Neill, where I formerly worked at F&F Power Equipment on Walpole Terrace in Canton, Mass., alongside my longtime boyfriend, Jeffrey Farrington, a longtime Canton resident, whose father retired as captain of the Canton Fire Department. Recently, we were informed by the town secretary, Charles Duty, that our case regarding commercial vehicles parked overnight was on the agenda. Today, an executive session that was held at 6:15 p.m. tonight was held to discuss litigation concerning Walpole Terrace. Despite enduring significant harassment while working in Canton, Massachusetts, I have since moved my career to Boston, specifically working on Mass Ave, known as Massencast, where individuals facing severe drug addiction and dual diagnosis mental health disorders reside on the streets. The ongoing harassment from Canton, including unjust fines, unwarranted visits from a sexual predator, Canton cop, Eric Wade, and personal property issues involving another corrupt Canton officer, Charles Ray, who altered zoning regulations in 2016, has compelled me to leave the area. I now collaborate directly with the Massachusetts state government to provide housing for people with severe mental health illness. I have reached out to Governor of the Massachusetts, Maura Healey, and Boston Mayor Michelle Wu regarding Jeffrey Farrington's property on Walpole Terrace, proposing the construction of 40B housing for housing undocumented immigrants. The town of Canton has caused immense emotional distress to our business and personal lives over the past 13 years. Tonight, I speak out and hope that Canton residents will support a small business that has thrived for over 3 decades, contributing to taxes and community welfare. It is crucial to recognize that 40B housing in Canton, Massachusetts is our last option to halt this relentless cycle of lawsuits, police misconduct, and unfair fines that plague running a business in Canton, Massachusetts. This clown town of Canton has caused nothing but harassment to a small business and caused extreme emotional distress to Jeff's and I personal relationship. This harassment needs to end.
No response. They were the clown town. Yeah, that was crazy.
Sean Colburn. Mr. Chairman, I would like to address some questions I have for you guys, since we weren't afforded the opportunity 2 weeks ago to address items that were listed on an agenda with the reappointment of the police chief, and I had planned on going through and asking each one of you guys how you voted and what you some of the questions you asked her were. How was the determination decided on to reappoint Helena Rafferty to a one-year contract? Did you interview and assess her performance one-on-one, or was it done as a group? Does the chief recognize the missteps that have occurred in the Canton Police Department investigation and the death of Officer John O'Keefe? Can you tell us what some of the questions you asked her were? What, if anything, did you ask her about her department's lack of following proper procedures and policies? What, if anything, did any of you ask her about the importance of interviewing and separating witnesses and recording witness statements? What, if anything, did you ask her about the collection of evidence, the proper storage of evidence, and the chain of command on evidence collection? What, if anything, did you ask her about recognizing and adhering to conflicts of interest? You know, such as when the chief at the time, Chief Berkowitz, called District Attorney Michael Morrissey's office at 8:30 a.m. on January 29th and talked about the Canton Police Department recusing themselves because of a conflict of interest. When through testimony we learned that the Canton Police Department actually did not adhere to this recusal. We had a Canton police officer, Kevin Albert, arranging witness interviews days later after they were recused. At 8:30 a.m. on the 29th, the state police took control of this investigation. Why were the Canton police officers in the Sallyport at 5 p.m. on January 29th? And why was an ATF agent also in the Sallyport? The ATF has no jurisdiction on this case at all, yet Brian Higgins was allowed to be there. Who were the 3 officers that were not identified at 34 Fairview? Did any of you ask her how an inverted videotape was turned in as evidence? Did any of you ask her how 40 minutes is missing off the Sallyport video? How about the library video? And what, if anything, was done in regards to the testimony and the text messages read from State Police Sergeant when they were driving around the Cape in a State Police cruiser, shit-faced, and the Canton police officer, Kevin Albert, lost control of his badge and his gun? Were they ever recovered? Was there any disciplinary action taken? I think these are just a few of the things that come to mind. This is your job to ask these questions, not mine. We are the taxpayers of this community. We should have been afforded the opportunity to ask these questions 2 weeks ago on an item that was listed as an agenda item. You were in violation of Mass Open Meeting Law. Thank you.
Thank you.
We get 15 minutes of this.
The American Revolution began in 1775 as an open conflict between the United 13 colonies and Great Britain. Many factors played a role in the desires to fight for independence. Not only did these issues lead to a war, but they also shaped the very foundation of the United States of America. The Americans felt that they should have equal rights to the Englishmen. The British, on the other hand, thought that the colonies were created to be used in the ways that best suited the Crown and the Parliament. This seems a lot like our current reality in Canton. This conflict embodied in one of the rallying cries of the American Revolution: no taxation without representation. To me, this sounds like our current day Canton. While we pay all our taxes, our services, leaders, and police departments only service the entitled, selected few, while those entitled in our governance try to silence our concerns. Another driving force behind the revolution was an outcry against the judicial system that was in place, offering yet another airy comparison, ironically enough, involving 6 British soldiers. After 6 British soldiers were acquitted and 2 dishonorably discharged for the Boston Massacre, the British government changed the rules. From then on, officers accused of any offense in the colonies would be sent to England for trial. This meant that fewer witnesses would be on hand to give their accounts of the events and led to even fewer convictions. Wouldn't it be nice to watch Proctor's hearings for his indiscretions? This makes matters even worse. jury trials were replaced with verdicts and punishments handed down directly by colony judges. Over time, the colonial authorities lost power over this as well, because the judges were known to be chosen, paid, and supervised by the British government. Again, dauntingly familiar. The right to a fair trial by jury of their peers was no longer possible to many. John Adams once said, "Facts are stubborn things, and whatever may be our wishes, our inclinations, or the dictates of our passions, they cannot alter the state of the facts and the evidence." What frightens me most is even after watching the same trial for 10 weeks, so many still blindly trust and follow the corrupt and avoid the facts and evidence that would have convicted Karen Reed. There is lack of it. To bring justice for John O'Keefe, rather, they chose to keep supporting those who have factually been proven to be corrupt and dirty.
Thank you, Ms. O'Donnell.
To those
Ms. O'Donnell, that's it.
who find our fight for truth,
I'm going to ask you to settle down.
and our American rights
I'm going to ask you to leave,
so
Ms. O'Donnell.
unacceptable to tonight.
Officer.
I quote Captain John Paul Jones, 1779. "I have not begun to fight."
Thank you, Ms. O'Donnell.
I'm following the rules. We live in America, dude. Freshen up on history.
Ms. O'Donnell, please.
He's talking to me, but I will stay quiet. No need to leave. Exercising my First Amendment.
Ms. O'Donnell.
Okay, I'm going to speak. I'm going to speak now.
Ms. O'Donnell, you're being disruptive to the meeting. I'm asking you to leave. Thank you. Thank you.
I have nothing to leave for. I haven't broken any laws.
Okay.
I'm answering you. I said I would stand here quietly. I will stand here quietly.
She only went over a few minutes. A minute. Okay, I'm going to... Come on, will you? We're in crisis, for crying out loud. I know it's my imagination. I know it's my imagination.
All right, folks, please be respectful. Ms. Lombardi, this is it?
Yes, thank you. Okay, listen, Rita Lombardi, and I can't believe I'm standing here about to say what I'm going to say. My ancestry goes back in this town to the very early 1900s, and I've always had respect for the Canton Police and the Fire Department because my ancestors served on them proudly, and I always admired them. And I'm shocked that I'm having this discussion right now. But anyways, the issues that we've had in town relate to safety and trust issues. And last week or whatever, you approved the police chief's contract, and many of us were opposed to that. And I just want to share some of the reasons why we have trust issues here. In 2018, the Canton Police Department responded to a car accident on Pleasant Street near Meadows, but did not locate the driver. An hour or so later, a passerby located the body of Craig Casey. This last year, when questioned by a concerned citizen, Chief Rafferty's response was, it wouldn't have made a difference to his survival. Instead of owning this failure, that was her explanation. In 2021, the Canton Police Department ruled Sandra Birchmore's death a suicide. It was recently confirmed that Sandra was in fact murdered, something many citizens already knew. Yet there has been zero acknowledgement of this policing failure by Chief Rafferty or an apology to Sandra's family that I am aware of. In 2022, the Canton Police Department responded to the scene of Officer John O'Keefe's murder. The mishandling of the crime scene, the investigation, and the evidence collection was gross incompetence at best and will be taught in criminal law classes for decades to come on how not to handle a murder crime scene. Instead of Chief Rafferty addressing these performance issues with appropriate corrective action, many, if not all involved, have been promoted. In any organization, rewarding poor performance not only damages employee morale, it increases employee turnover, both of which are extremely costly. Canton PD has an 18% turnover in the past 2 years. Oftentimes, it is your best employees who seek employment elsewhere, not the performance problem. If unchecked, your organization will continue on a downward spiral. In the John O'Keefe murder trial, we learned that it was Chief Rafferty who turned over the Sallyport surveillance video to the Mass State Police. We also learned that in addition to 42 minutes missing from this footage and people disappearing from the screen, and the footage was inverted, something no one has ever heard of in their life. 6 weeks it took her to report the February accident, which almost cost the man his life, and now we're being sued for that. And we're going to get sued for all these other cases as well. Policies and procedures are great, but there's no consequences when they're not followed. Just rhetoric that we'll do better next time. That just doesn't cut it. The Canton Police Department and this town is facing countless and costly lawsuits as a result of their actions. We do not feel safe, and that is why. Okay, I'm not speaking for you because you're part of the selected few. I'm talking about me, common folks. I'm talking about me, the random citizen. That's who I'm talking about.
Thank you, Ms.
Anyone
Lombardi.
who's related to the McAlberts, you're safe, but not us.
Thank you, Ms.
stop
Lombardi.
it. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Running over here. She's getting yelled at and yelling, and you stand right here.
Ms. O'Donnell, you said you were going to be quiet. You were disruptive. It is time for you to leave. Ms. O'Donnell, it is time for you to leave.
Take your hands off me. I haven't broken any laws.
I took off my
I haven't broken any laws. No, you're kicking and choosing who to enforce the law on. Yes, you are. No, you won't.
All right, can we just start our meeting?
Choosing who to enforce the law.
What do we do with her?
Eviction just happened. I feel threatened. Get off.
Ms. O'Donnell.
You didn't walk across the room. You ran over here while I was speaking out of turn. She just sat there screaming at the crowd, and the crowd screaming back at her, and you stayed here. No, I'm not. It is inappropriate. No, it's inappropriate. Uphold the law the way it's intended to be upheld.
Let's go.
Can we just start our meeting?
I'm upset because I feel unjustly. No, you're standing in front of me while everyone else does the same thing.
Ms. O'Donnell.
Do you not see that?
Ms. O'Donnell, you're disruptive to the meeting.
We have to start our meeting.
You're being disruptive to the meeting. It's time for you to go.
I'm right, though. I may be disrupting the meeting, but I'm right, and it's my fucking right.
Thank you, Ms. O'Donnell. Thank you.
Fucking Americans, people. Remember it. God damn it.
No.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill.
Oh, shit.
Literal mic drop at the end.
If you're going to talk to somebody else in the back room, both of you go outside and have your conversation outside. Thank you.
Thank you, officer. All right, before we get on to the next agenda item, we have two statements to read. So, Mr. Albert, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay, as many of you know, I've had two recent verbal altercations with members of the public outside of my role as a select board. Despite the tremendous harassment, stress, and anxiety that my family, extended family, and I have been subjected to over the past 16 months, my interactions were inappropriate, and as an elected official, I am held to a higher standard, and I understand that the residents of Canton expect public officials to always conduct themselves professionally and focus on the business of the town. I apologize for my recent reaction and will refrain from any further public incidents that are unbecoming as a member of this Canton Select Board. Thank you.
That's Chris Albert.
Thank you, Mr. Albert. An additional statement. Chief Rafferty has placed Kevin Albert on paid administrative leave while an outside, please be quiet, while an outside independent investigation is being conducted relative to his actions in a case he investigated with Michael Proctor approximately 2 years ago. Kevin Albert was placed on leave on June 13th and will remain on leave until the results of the investigation are provided by the outside independent investigator. All right.
All right, first on the agenda for tonight, Mr. Scollins and Mr. Lynch want to step forward? Oh,
Yeah. What's that?
no.
No, it's Scollins and Lynch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys are right.
So,
Okay.
That's all right, he can go first.
Ayden was vacation.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Mr. Town Administrator. This is the time of the year annually where we're closing the books for fiscal 24, which closed on June 30, 2024. And as is typical at year end, there are some reserve fund transfers that are required in order to balance the books to keep everything within appropriations. It's a two-part process. It's a vote of the select board, and then tomorrow night we have a vote of the finance committee as well. And we have $600,000 as the reserve fund budget for the entire year, and I typically wait until the end of the year to see where those funds are needed, because typically problems that are raised during the year resolve themselves for the most part. So we get to the end of the year and we just have three such budgets that need some budget relief from the reserve fund transfer. The first one you heard about at your last meeting is the school budget, where you had voted funds from the SPED reserve account, and we had also mentioned that we would likely be back at your next meeting for a request for $425,000 from the reserve fund to finally balance the school budget.
So they're just proceeding
for fiscal 24. And Brian, if you want to.
Not too much to add other than, over the last few weeks, me and my staff have done a lot of work and taking a deep dive to make sure that everything is tied up, and unfortunately we're still in a position where we need these funds to fully balance out 24. So, I hope for a positive vote here, which will allow us to close out the year successfully and move forward into FY25.
All right. Do we have any questions for Mr. Scollins or Mr. Lynch? All right, if not.
All right, I move that the board support the request for fiscal year end 2024 reserve fund transfers for $425,000 for the extraordinary school SPED costs and associated transportation expenses at the request of the Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. So, thank you. Just two other items. They fall, in essence, within the same department, town clerk and elections and registration, registrars. So, as you know, we had an unscheduled special town meeting this past November that was unplanned for budgetarily. And then, as you're also aware, the town was required to expand from 6 to 7 precincts, which required extra efforts and costs associated with holding elections. So as a result, that impacted the elections and registrars.
I'm going to turn down their discussion here for just a little minute. They're now continuing with the regular business. This is going to cover everything from discussion about replacing stop signs or potholes on certain roads to extending contracts to temporary workers for the summer. It covers everything. Anything that has financial impact on the town, it goes through this board. They meet twice a week for this purpose. But $12,000 for elections and registrars expenses. $12,000 for elections. See, they're passing that over so they can run their elections and everything. But the big thing is the town there are a lot of people who want to talk and want to share information. And if you look at the people who clap when they do show us the video of the community who's watching this, about half of them are I'd say about a third of them are for the committee and cheer what they do, and the rest seem to cheer when the committee gets roasted. But just because we've moved on doesn't mean it's over. Sometimes, we can continue watching here, but sometimes as we move on and they get to business items, especially ones that are sort of confrontational or under debate, the observers get vocal again. So we're going to sit and watch through this like good Boy Scouts, getting our citizen of the community merit badge.
That they have provided throughout fiscal 24 in managing their appropriations, their budgets within their appropriations, and providing the services that they have. So kudos to my fellow department heads.
All right. Thank you guys for all your hard work on balancing those budgets.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Is Steve here?
I don't know if Steve's here.
Where's Steve?
Just ask if there's a representative from the Paul Revere.
Should I
All
say
right.
no? I'll wait.
Anybody.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
All right.
Okay.
Next, Mr.
All
Albert.
right, next on the agenda, consider the request from the Revere and Son Heritage Trust for land use of the entire park to hold a region-wide sale on Saturday, 24th, 2024. Steve's here, I see him now. 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And Steve's here to discuss these next two items.
Good evening.
Schottenfeld, a board member of the Revere and Son Heritage Trust, the nonprofit that manages the Paul Revere Heritage Site. The board prides itself on bringing together the entire region to learn about the region's history and potential and just to have fun. May's Canton Heritage Festival was visited by an estimated 2,500 people from Canton, the surrounding towns, and from as far away as Connecticut to enjoy the day. I'm here today to ask the Select Board for permission to use the site for 2 more upcoming events that are in the same vein. The first of the 2 will take place on Saturday, August 24th from 1 to 4 p.m. with a rain date of August 25th for a region-wide yard sale and fundraiser. Our theme will be something like, if your kids don't want it, sell it. We're asking permission to use the entire park for 10 by 10 spaces that will be offered to the public.
I think we could come up with some better slogans for them.
Nominal $30 fee, which will be a contribution to the trust.
If your kids don't want it,
Shoppers can
sell
be
it.
dropped off in the site's parking lot and then will be directed to park at no fee at the Canton Center MBTA lot, then walk to the site. On the same day, the barn, the yellow barn there, will be open all day thanks to a grant from the Highland Street Foundation, whose popular August Adventures program provides funding for major destination museums in the region to open for a day at no charge to the public. Just some of the museums that will open their doors for free on other days in August include the MIT Museum, Boston's Institute of Contemporary Art, Boston's Museum of African American History, and the Worcester Art Museum. So we're in good company. The second of the 2 events will be the 3rd annual family concert on September 22nd from 3 p.m.
Everyone in
to
chat,
6
please be
p.m.
respectful with
like
your
last
comments.
year's concert, which drew families from over 30 miles around. This year's concert will again feature the wildly popular Toe Jam Puppet Band and include games and activities for young children from 3 to 4 years of age. The concert will be from 4 to 5 p.m. weather permitting. The activities and the concert will take place on the trust-controlled land on the southeast of the barn building on the site. In case of inclement weather, as happened last year, the activities and concert will be moved into the barn. As this concert is provided free to the community, we're requesting a waiver of the entertainment permit fee.
Thank you. Mr. Schottenfeld, have the neighbors been notified of the
They will
yard
be,
sale?
yes.
They will
once
be?
we approve.
Any other questions for Mr. Schottenfeld?
Whoa. The neighbors don't know they're throwing a huge party next door?
None, I'll entertain a motion.
Right. Once
I'll
it's
take the
approved,
first
we'll
one. The
tell
first
them.
one is, I move the board approve the request from the Revere and Son Heritage Trust for land use of the entire park to hold a region-wide yard sale on Saturday, August 24th, 2024, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., and then the rain date will be August 25th, 2025.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and
when it's
seconded.
okayed.
Mr. Duty, do we need anything with police or fire approval or building?
Yeah, it'll be pending building commissioner, police and fire.
Okay, so just a friendly amendment to that, pending police and fire approval. So do I have a second to the friendly amendment?
Yes, second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. 4-0. Next, Mr. Albert.
All right, the next is, I move that the board approve the request for entertainment permit from the Revere and Son Heritage Trust to hold the Toe Jam Puppet Band event on the lawn next to the museum building on Sunday, September 22nd, 2024. Now, Mr. Schottenfeld, you said 4 to 5, but we have it at 3 to 6, so.
It's 3 to 6. The concert itself will be from 4 to 5.
Okay, all right. So from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and to waive the $50 entertainment fee.
Toe Jam
And
Puppet
again,
Festival?
same friendly
Or
motion.
Toe Jam Puppet
Contingent
Band?
upon police and fire approval.
I should have added that.
That's all right. Do I have a second to that?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Sharp.
Everything's passing unanimously. So we need a fire department and we need police.
All right. New business.
New business. We have fire department and police individuals who are ready to weigh in on the Toe Jam Puppet Festival.
Mr. Albert.
All right, first, I move that we consider approving, consider approving the personnel service contract for the conservation agent.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the personal service contract for the conservation agent. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0.
4-0.
Next, I consider approving the maintenance electrician job description.
Do I have a second for that?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the maintenance electrician job description. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
4-0.
So next on the agenda, consider the approval of secondhand jewelry and electronics permit for precious metals reclaiming service. I move that the board approve secondhand jewelry and electronics permit for precious metals reclaiming service.
Okay. Do I have a second for that?
Second with the question.
All right. Mr. Conley?
This isn't, we've approved these in the past with the condition that this doesn't become a pawn shop, correct?
It's a pawn shop.
I can't just make sure that it's not going to become
I don't
a pawn
know the
shop.
answer to that question. I didn't.
Okay. I just want to check with Eddie, and I approve it conditionally, but I don't want a pawn shop in Canton.
So this is a permit renewal for the business, so I assume it still falls under that, but yeah, Mr. Duty, if you can just check on that.
Yes, I will. I'm looking at the application. I don't see anything about a pawn shop. So.
Thank you.
It's a business renewal.
So motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0.
So next, consider the appointment of the select board representative to the bylaw modernization committee.
Well, they're updating the rules.
All right, so I had expressed an interest in this as well, as did Ms. Boyden. We did rock, paper, scissors, and I came out on top there. So I would entertain a motion that the select board chair is the select board representative to the bylaw modernization committee.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Ms. Boyden. Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0.
Next on the agenda, consider the appointment in Parks Recreation seasonal staff, Kyle Downing.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0.
4-0.
Next on the agenda, consider the appointment of election workers Carol Ayotte, Mary Ellen Beckett, Don Kuchar, and Evan Patton. I move that we appoint all four of these workers.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next, we have a
4-0.
Cable Advisory Committee appointment.
Next, to consider the appointment of school rep to Cable Advisory Committee, Brian Lynch. I move that the board appoint the school committee member, Brian Lynch, to the Cable Advisory Committee.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. So this is just, there is a school rep to this committee, and with Brian Lynch coming on board, he is the being appointed to this.
De facto.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
4-0.
4-0.
Next is to consider the appointment of member to the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Committee, Desmond Summerall.
Summerall.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
4-0.
Man,
Next
everything
is
gets
to
rubber
consider the
stamped.
appointment of the Canton Veterans Council, William Gamble. I move that we approve William Gamble to the Veterans Council.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0.
Okay, next is to consider accepting and authorizing the use of the gift in accordance with the terms there under Mass General Law 44, subsection 53A, the grant of $50,000 from Outfront Media for Shawmut and Route 95 locations.
Outfront Media gave $50,000 to Canton.
So
what did they get in
So that's
return?
not a motion. So do you have the motion?
Yep. I move that the board accept and authorize the use of the gift in accordance with the terms under Mass General Law 44, subsection 53A, the grant of $50,000 from Outfront Media for Shawmut and Route 95 locations.
Second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0.
All right, next on the agenda, I move that the board approve water and sewer commitment final bills in the amount of $13,000, $832.70.
He doesn't know how to read numbers.
Second? Motion has been made and seconded.
Wait till
All those
the
in
next
favor,
one.
please say aye.
We've got
Aye.
a 3 million
4-0.
one. Let's hear him read this one.
Next on the agenda, I move that the board approve the water and sewer commitment residential in the amount of $3,529,000, $746.05.
He puts dollars in the middle.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
4-0.
All right, next on the agenda, I move that the board approve the cemetery lot perpetual care deeds.
You can
Second?
You need to
Second.
maintain the
Motion
cemetery.
has been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 4-0.
I'm going to need a
next.
second every time. so-
Big numbers here. Here we go.
All right, next we have the vendor warrant total for the week of 6/28/2024, $1,143,000, $776.53.
Why?
No, that's,
No.
Get the-
it's 7/5/24.
What am I at the wrong?
I think so.
Yeah, you got the wrong.
Do I?
Yeah, that's not right. Oh, it's a little different.
Otherwise, that's different.
The week, because you're reading the week of 6/28, right?
Yep.
Yep.
No, I thought it said,
On the-
do I have it
on
wrong?
Of 7/5, so. Oh, do you know why that 6/28 is highlighted on here?
That what?
Do you know why
Yeah.
6/28 is
That's
highlighted
weird.
on it? We're supposed to.
Because it went on after, it was an
So we have
add-on
to,
about.
we have to read this one too.
Yes, you do.
All right, yes.
Yeah, so I'm reading both of
Yeah,
them.
you're going to read them all. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yep.
see this.
All right.
Okay.
So next is
Start
the
again.
payroll warrant total for the week of
Mine says-
6/28/2024, $1,565,335.75.
There we go. Was that difficult?
Next is the vendor warrant total for the week 7/5/2024, $9,844,218.85.
Yes, 2 in a row.
And next is the payroll warrant for the week of 7/5/2024, $342,741.74.
Wow, 3 in a row. We got
If
him.
I could just clarify something on the vendor warrant for the week of 7/5, it's $9 million and change. That's unusually high. If you've been following this along, it's an unusually high number.
Yes.
I just wanted to let you know that that is high because that includes our payment to the Norfolk County Pension System
Yep.
that we have to do annually.
Yep.
And the amount of that payment is $7.57 million. So that's the bulk of that number.
But you just approved
So
it not knowing
The finance director
that.
pays it one time, and as opposed to paying 2 separate payments to save what the fee would be, which is roughly saves the town $141,000 to pay it one lump sum.
Okay.
Okay?
Perfect. Thank
But
you.
they approved it not knowing what that $9 million was. They're like,
All
yeah,
right, next on the
all
agenda, I
good.
move that the board approve the minutes from the select board meeting of June 11th, 2024.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes from June 11, 2024. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0.
Town
Next
administrator
up is the
update.
town administrator update.
Let's hear this.
Just a couple of things, Mr. Chairman. The Bylaw Modernization Committee was established under Article 30. The moderator had some appointments to make to 2-year terms, and he made those appointments. So the appointments from the moderator are Mr. George Camo, Dr. Susan Harrington, Mr. William Kring, Ms. Gilda McGonigal, and Mr. Paul McAuliffe. In addition to those folks, the moderator appointed, the article called for certain municipal employees to be part of that committee. And so in addition to those folks, Jennifer Chameleon will be representing the town administrator's office. William Scollins will represent the finance department as the finance director. Lou Jutras will represent information systems. And Mike Loughran was voted tonight to represent the select board. So that committee is established and should get up and running this month, I assume. And then one more notice, just public notice. We do have many positions available on various committees, and this notice will be printed in the paper so folks can see what's available. It'll also be on our website, and folks can go on the website and apply for these positions. But I want to just briefly run through them. Cable Advisory Committee, we have a vacancy. The Canton Cultural Council, we need 8. We have 8 vacancies. The Comprehensive Water Resource Management Plan is a vacancy. Commission on Disabilities, a vacancy. Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion has a vacancy. Economic Development, Commission has a vacancy. Energy Advisory Committee, a vacancy. Historical Commission, an alternate member. There's two, as alternate members, there are 2 positions. Paul Revere Heritage Trust has 2 vacancies. The Permit Advisory Committee has a vacancy. The Reservoir Pond Advisory Committee has a vacancy. The Sustainability Committee has 5 vacancies. The Veterans Council has 7 vacancies. And finally, the Water and Sewer Rate Policy Committee has 1 vacancy. So if anyone's interested in any of those committees and would like to volunteer, please check the website and you can apply to serve on any of those committees.
Nurse for God and DNB, thank you for your generous gifts.
I'm shocked that you didn't bring up the Canton Fire Department's recent accolades.
Well, I don't want to steal their thunder. I'm sure they'll be putting a press release out.
So as not to steal their thunder, can you reach out to Chief Robery and Mr. Reardon and see if they're willing to come in and receive some accolades for that?
I will certainly do that. Yep. I still have the number.
Yeah, I figured. I figured you still knew some people there. All right.
You got connections.
Next, Mr. Albert.
Unless I'm.
I think we're done.
That's it.
We're done.
Next meeting.
Next meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
July
Apologize.
16th, 7 p.m.
The Select Board will hold its next meeting Tuesday, July 16, 2024, 7 p.m. at the Sala Meeting Room, Memorial Hall, 801 Washington Street.
Same place.
Very much.
Same time.
I have a motion to adjourn at 7:42.
So moved.
Motion has been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. 4-0. Have a good evening, everybody. Stay cool.
Phew.
And just like that, they're done. We're going to jump back here. It gets spicy. It gets spicy there. A lot of people want a lot more public comment time. Limited it to 15 minutes is not enough. That basically gives, 3 minutes per. That gives you 5 people to talk. And there's always been more people to talk than they have enough time. They also have been delaying in posting the information about when they're going to have their open office hours, when you can actually go by and actually talk to someone and get an answer back. That's been something that the public has been begging for, and they just have not released that information yet. They don't know when it's going to happen. AZ Oversight Group, congratulations. I heard the news. We got the update. There was the George Kelly case in Arizona that we followed. AZ, you helped us a ton with that. This was the rancher, the border shooting trial. The rancher that was charged with shooting someone. That judge dismissed the case, it's my understanding, with prejudice, which means it cannot be refiled. So he will not face any other charges going forward. Thank you for your gifted membership. Nurse for God gifted another one because you're just not done yet. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. This is an amazing community. Very generous with the gifts. Let's see, Sophia Starlin, thank you for being on all day for us. It's been a long day. We read 233 pages of Young Thug motions, which is a lot. Let's see, going back a little bit to a couple I missed. 6-volt bus says, popcorn, hot buttery popcorn here. Come get your popcorn. 18 months member. Thank you, 6-volt bus, one of our great moderators as well. Thank you, my friend. Lois Cox, thank you, gifted membership. Thank you very much. A very generous supporter as well of the program. Tweety Tweet, welcome to the gallery. Mickey, we had to sort of quietly thank you, but that came in during the quiet part. But the real legacy of Karen Reed and OO will be the cleansing of Canton. Residents have woken up to shenanigans. I think there will be a push to sort of change things, but it's hard to unseat incumbents. It really is. PJ Wolf says, glad to be here. Thank you very much. 10 months for that. And then we've got another one just came in. Alley Cat, member for 11 months, says thanks for a full day of your time. Appreciate that. Anytime. I love doing this. I really do. This is awesome. Tomorrow, we're going to start the Alec Baldwin trial. We're going to be covering that gavel to gavel. We'll have discussion. We've got some great people in chat. If you've never watched a trial with us, you've never really watched true crime, because we have some of the wittiest and fun and kindest people in chat. If you're looking for a place to fight, this probably isn't what you're looking for, but you're welcome to bring all opinions, whether they agree with me or everybody else or not. It's welcome. We just ask that it be shared respectfully. So please do that. We do, basically at the end of the day, we might disagree, but we can still be friends. That's how we run the channel here. Our mods use that same mentality, and we only have to time things out if things get a little out of control. If you do get timed out for a little bit, usually we're pretty lenient. Just notice that it's just a reminder just to dial it back a little bit, maybe take that dialogue to a different venue than this one. But that doesn't mean we don't like you at all. We can't wait to come back and chat with you again. Virginia Little, a member for 11 months, says, it's been longer because I lurked for a while. Love RA in chat. Lurking is all right. 80s Music Man says, I come to fight. I come for the fight. Check the burner phone for a message sent 1908. I will do that. I've got a lot. Let's see. Green it is. Because Pickles. I've tried 6 different cat fountains. On the 11th, you shall receive at your post office box what I found to be the best, easiest to clean, switch out filters. I've also included extra filters. You should get next month. Thank you very much, Crazy Cat Queen. I have the most spoiled cat in the world, and it's because people like you that help me, because I've never had a cat before. I didn't know I had this cat. The cat just found me. I was assigned a cat by the cat distribution. I don't know, the algorithm. It found us. Angela, I have not opened the email yet. Give me just 1 second. I've got a lot of emails, a lot of stuff coming in about the George Kelly case with that news. A lot of stuff, a lot of advice about these puppets, which were a gift to me. Thank you very much for these puppets, Breezy. We've got these finger puppets that I'm trying to use. I need like an extra hand. I don't know. We've got to figure out how to use these while we're reading court documents because they really liven the place up. Tomorrow morning, I say morning, but the case with Alec Baldwin is in the West Coast. It's in Nevada, or not Nevada. It's in New Mexico. Excuse me. I just moved it to another state without telling anybody. It's in New Mexico, which puts it at a much later time zone. So it's going to be a later start. It means we run later into the day. We'll probably be post 6 o'clock before we finish. So just if you're West Coast fans, it's going to be great for you. But for the rest of us, we're going to be up late. So just keep that in mind as we kick off this trial. It's been spicy with the motions yesterday. They seated a jury today. We're going to have opening statements to begin, and it's going to be great. We have some of the best attorneys that money can buy, and trust me, money bought some of these attorneys that are going to be championing this case for both sides, and it's going to be exciting to watch as this develops, especially because we already watched round 1 of the Rust movie trial. We also, as you know, we have a little, let me see if I can show you here. Let's go to camera 3. We have a thumbnail, which is, I see it's changed a little bit. We have a thumbnail that we're going to be building on, and we've invited a lot of people to collaborate on this and share their ideas in some of the other pages, and it will be put together in a picture as the trial proceeds. So this thumbnail is what we'll be using for court. So when you're looking for court, when you search for the Alec Baldwin trial, look for this thumbnail. We'll start with using that tomorrow morning, and it will be pretty blank because there's not much that's been told yet. As court proceeds, when there are key moments in the trial, whether it be funny, whether it be evidence, whether it be just an occurrence that's just something that's unique to the trial or something key that we want to remember, we'll add some sort of representation on this thumbnail. So every time the live goes live again, you can see through the picture how the trial has progressed. We want to do this in a respectful way because we know with all these trials, there are victims. In this case, there was a young woman who lost her life. We're not trying to be disrespectful in any way. We are just looking at this and trying to track the court as it progresses, be able to remember the details of the case. I'm a visual learner. This helps me. So we're not going to have things on here that mock or make fun of a victim in any way. But we are, if there's a funny part in court, we're allowed to laugh. That breaks up the seriousness of the moment. So just be mindful that that's going to happen. We're going to have that tomorrow as we go live with that. Is there anything else I missed? Oh, I missed a couple more chats here. Just 1 second. Let's see. Alley Cat, thank you very much. Welcome that. Virginia Little, it's been a little longer because I lurked for a while. Weather Watch, I disagree. There you go. Weather Watch is my podcast partner. We have a podcast every Thursday night. We skipped last week because it was the 4th of July holiday. But I think you evaded the storm or been far enough from it down in Texas that you're going to be all right this week. So we're looking forward to a podcast. Again, it returns on Thursday night at 8 p.m. on this same channel. It's called the Not Relevant Podcast, and we do talk about things that are not relevant to true crime, just be forewarned. Food will be mentioned. There might be some dad jokes. Occasionally, we'll always talk about the lottery. It'll be fun. Donna E., member for 5 months, says 5 months and enjoying it. Thank you, Donna. It wouldn't be the same without you here. Melissa Filson, member for 8 months. Good to see everyone tonight. Thanks, RA, for all you do. Nurse for God, one of the huge supporters of the channel as well. Thank you for your generous donation, not just with Super Chat, but with many gifted memberships as well. You guys are absolutely amazing. Checking the comments before we wrap everything up and send you all to bed because it's nearly that time. I'm going to rest my voice tonight. I've talked so much. Let's see. Can you play back what Chris Albert was saying in the meeting? The answer is yes, Miriam. The answer is yes. Let me actually do that really quickly. Let me stall for just a minute and bring up DaVinci Resolve. Where are you at? This is my video editor. It will be coming in on 8, which right now has our 233-page document, which we don't need anymore. Okay, DaVinci Resolve. Give me a second. I've got to sync to my network drive, and we'll pull this last little feed up here. This looks good. Look at that. Does that look awesome? Yeah. Okay, untitled project. We'll start a new one. Wants me to update. I'm going to skip for right now. Okay, I'll get the update in just a second. Import media. This comes from my ATEM. What's it recording as? Just 1 second. We'll replay this because the two announcements were quite telling. Okay, it's recording as. Okay, that was today. Okay, so we are reading. Okay, we want this portion right here, and this is going to be a little funny because it's me in the top corner at the same time. But let's jump to camera 8 just for a quick replay of what happened earlier.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill.
So now there's two of me. That's confusing. Literal mic drop at the end.
If you're going to talk to somebody else in the back room, both of you go outside and have your conversation outside. Thank you.
Thank you, officer. All right, before we get on to the next agenda item, we have two statements to read. So, Mr. Albert, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay, as many of you know, I've had two recent verbal altercations with members of the public outside of my role as a select board. Despite the tremendous harassment, stress, and anxiety that my family, extended family, and I have been subjected to over the past 16 months, my interactions were inappropriate, and as an elected official, I am held to a higher standard, and I understand that the residents of Canton expect public officials to always conduct themselves professionally and focus on the business of the town. I apologize for my recent reaction and will refrain from any further public incidents that are unbecoming as a member of this Canton Select Board. Thank you.
Somebody says it's not going to hell. It's Chris Albert.
Thank you, Mr. Albert.
And here's the other announcement.
An additional statement. Chief Rafferty has placed Kevin Albert on paid administrative leave while an outside, and please be quiet, while an outside independent investigation is being conducted relative to his actions in a case he investigated with Michael Proctor approximately 2 years ago. Kevin Albert was placed on leave on June 13th and will remain on leave until the results of the investigation are provided by the outside independent investigator. All right.
All right, first on the agenda.
Okay, so those were the two announcements that we had from the replay. Those are the two announcements. The apology. It was an apology. I apologize for my reaction because of the stress my family's been put under. It's also an excuse. It was an excuse wrapped in an apology. And he says that I'm not going to do anything else. And then also we get that Kevin Albert's, the police officer, has been placed on administrative leave while there's an investigation into a case that he and Proctor participated in 2 years ago. So we'll see what happens. Kathy Trout says, what, if anything, will we do after KRAB and the Thug trials are done? I can tell you, Kathy, there are so many good cases coming this year. Look, we have, first of all, the Corey Richens is going to be, it's going to blow your mind. It is crazy. It's crazy what's happened. Her lawyers just quit, first of all. She can't afford to pay them. But her lawyers just quit. She is getting other, I think, court-appointed lawyers. It's been a ton of drama. I think some of the spicier letters, like the walk the dog letter that she wrote from jail and enclosed in a folder that said for attorney's eyes only, but it was really instructions to her mom on how to coach witnesses, allegedly. That won't be coming in, I think. I don't think that's coming in. So there's some spicy stuff that's happened. If you look at the family, there's some other occurrences where it looks like her mom might have been in a similar situation that she's currently in, with someone close to her having died from a drug overdose, and some questions being asked. It's bizarre. It's crazy. That one is in Utah. It's in Park City, the same courtroom that Gwyneth Paltrow was in for the ski case, the ski crash case, the civil case we followed there. I will be in Utah for 3 days of that hearing in August, as that's coming up. I don't know when the trial date is, but there's the 3-day hearing is coming up first. I'm going to be there for that. We're going to be live out of Utah with that trial. That's coming up. Sarah Boone is coming up. Sarah Boone, we expect a letter at any time to be dropped on the Orange County Court Records page for Sarah Boone's case. That docket should show a letter because she just found out last week, well, a week before, and it takes about 10 days to be posted, that she no longer gets a lawyer. That her antics, her actions, the way she interacts with her lawyers has forfeited her right to a court-appointed attorney. So now if she wants a lawyer, she has to pay for one, which she can't do. So now she's pro se. And she is going to have something to say about it. Trust me, she is going to have something to say about it. So we're watching for letters from Sarah Boone on that one. That case is coming up here soon. It's coming up. I have to check the dates, but it's coming soon. We've got the Treehouse murder trial who's coming up down in Florida. That's a retrial with Franklin Tucker out of Key West. First one ended in mistrial. The judge recused himself or disqualified himself between the two trials. They were going to try to retry him. They arrested him up in Washington while he was on his way back to turn himself in. It's crazy. He's in custody now. He's also a pro se. That's coming up. We've got more hearings that'll be happening in the next couple months for Brian Kohberger. Brian Kohberger's trial is slated for summer of next month. I think it's in June. And that's going to be wild up there in Idaho. We don't know exactly where because the next big hearing, I think it's in about a month and a half. The judge is going to consider the change of venue. And it's going to happen. Okay, it's a foregone conclusion. The judge even has almost admitted it, that it's going to be a change of venue. It just matters where we go, and it's probably going to be Boise. Once that's announced, then the dates of the trial itself may have to switch a little bit because they have to interject Brian Kohberger's court into an already existing court schedule in Ada County, which is where Boise is located. So that's going to be a lot of fun up there. We may be there in person for that one as well. Let's see, what else is going on? Yeah, there's so much going on. And there are still court cases that just sneak up on us. We've got Ashley Benefield. It's going to start right after, I believe she starts on the 22nd of this month, which is right after the Alec Baldwin trial ends. That's the Black Swan trial. She's accused of murdering her husband. Just basically met, got married, and murder happened so close together that I think it's all on the same calendar year. The Met, marriage, and murder. You got the 3 M's. I got 4, but 3 M's just checked off really quickly. So that's going to be an interesting case as well. Let's see. That was Adam says a $10 answer for a $5 super chat. You can't say you didn't get your money's worth then. At least you feel I'm giving it my all. Boone trial doesn't start till October, right? But there's going to be motions before then. Specifically long letters from Sarah Boone complaining about the system because now she has nobody but herself. We just got notes, just got filed today, as a matter of fact, in the Sarah Boone case. If we look at the court docket there, that her discovery has been turned over to the jail. She basically has 2 boxes of stuff and she's on her own. It's like, plan your case. Good luck. Go. Because you're pro se now. I don't know if there are notes in there from attorneys. There should be, there should be some work product in there that says, here's what we plan, this is what we want to do, here are the witnesses we want to call, some witness lists, something that she can work off of. Even Darrell Brooks had some work product from some of his attorneys before he was pro se that he was able to use in his trial up there with Judge Darrow. So maybe that happens. Let me show you this. This is Sarah Boone, the latest thing that happened in her case. This is the receipt that just got filed. Well, it just got filed today, even though it's dated 6/28. So it takes about 10 days for these to show up in the record. But it shows that one box of discovery, box A and box B, are provided to the defense. The court will reach out to the jail to inquire how to deliver the defendant to the defendant, and will provide with order to release both boxes. And it's signed to there, and then there's the form right there, evidence control sheet, and signed and dated. So she is pro se. It's all on her now, and she is going to have a lot to say on that. We haven't seen a letter from her since 6/28, which was right. She wrote the letter right before she found out that she was going to be pro se. So the next letter is going to be really spicy, I think. All right. Anything else? Hey, Mrs. R.A., that's my wife. She's amazing. I love her. Let me just put that on the record. Mrs. R.A., if you're into homeschooling, well, I know Mrs. R.A. is because she's my wife, but if you are into homeschooling, Mrs. R.A. has a YouTube channel where you might want to check it out. She talks about a lot of things that relate to homeschool and how we homeschool our kids, why we homeschool our kids, and some things you can do if you are considering homeschooling your kids. So you can go to her channel and check it out. She has Homeschool Ground Zero on YouTube. She'd love it if you're interested. If you're not interested, you don't have to go, just like you don't have to be here. There's no law in the books that I have found yet where I can compel people to attend my live streams. But I'm still looking. Trust me, if I find it, I'll let you know. All right, it has been a fantastic day. I feel like we've been live since about 9 o'clock this morning, but I'm pretty sure I started late this morning. So that's it. Oh, man, so many more cases. Addison, I don't have time to go into Addison tonight. Oh, look, somebody's calling in. Hang on. Let's turn down the music. Hang on. Let's turn this down for a second. Let's see who it is. It's connecting. Oh. Are they going to call? Hey, we'll pause the music. I'm going to give them a chance. Mrs. R.A. is calling the burner. I'm going to give them a chance. They wanted to call in, and I started the music. There's like a 2-second delay on the live stream. I know it's not much time, but I've got 2 seconds between when I say it and when you hear it, if you're on the live. And so I might have started the music right as they called in. We'll give them another chance to connect. And by the way, yes, we do have a burner phone. That's what the burner phone is calling. We do give out publicly our burner phone information. If you need the number, !burner in chat, we'll do it. Ooh, it's from overseas.
Call from Angela.
Angela, the connection as usual is terrible, but I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, have you read my email? So right now.
No, it's not that.
Right now, I have a cat fountain email from you. That's what I've got.
Actually, not that. I just, sorry. It was me earlier who started, and I told you about it. I actually ended the call before you even started the music because you were. So, yeah, I just want to say thank you for the whole day and can we watch the next select, please? This was spicy.
Okay, I could tell what you're saying, but I'll have to translate it for the chat because it cut out a lot. You asked, can we watch the next Canton Select Board hearing? I think we can. We're going to keep an eye on this a little bit going forward as we watch this. There's still a lot of news, like national news eyes on this, and there probably will be all the way up through if and when they decide to retry Karen. So the next thing that happens in Karen Reed's trial is on the 22nd of this month, where the prosecutor will have to decide if they're going to press charges again. They have some information that they need to consider. One of the things is that, according to the latest motion by the defense, the jury was unanimous on 2 of the 3 charges on not guilty. And that's something they have to consider. There's an expense to these trials, and there's like a cost-benefit analysis. It sucks that you've got an individual who lost their life, and we're weighing the benefit of holding court or seeking justice based on the cost and our odds of actually winning. But it's true. They have to do it. They have limited money. They can't do everything they want. So they have to decide that. They'll find that out on the 22nd. So we will keep an eye on the Canton Select Board meetings going forward and try to follow them. They're The next couple ones are going to be bump right up against the back end, the tail end of Alec Baldwin. So I'm not sure if we can cover them live, but we might do a little delay, like a 20-minute delay or something. But
actually, the actual reason why I called was actually because your wife was in the room, and I just wanted to, or I must not have heard it wrong, but I just wanted to say that I love her channel, and she actually inspired me to open up my own channel, which I am going to email you about the how to do it.
Sweet. I would love to help. I know.
It may not be live because I may do film, then post it, because my schedule is already full and don't have time to make. Already am multitasking with watching trials and doing other stuff. I don't have time to do.
That's the right thing to do.
Live.
If you're looking to start a YouTube channel and you have a busy schedule, so like you have a full-time job and you're like, well, I'd like to be a YouTuber, I'd like to be a content creator, but I can't just quit my job and start. Making videos and posting them is the way to start. And that way you'll discover if you found an audience, if you connect with them, you can figure out what you like to do. You can build your equipment. The most important thing is start before you're ready, right? And start with what you have. Yeah. So you don't need all of this. I don't tell Mrs. R.A., can you plug your ears for just a minute? My wife. I don't need all this to run a YouTube channel, okay? I tell her I do, but I don't need all this stuff, and you don't either. You can literally start with a phone. It's enough to get started. But if you need help, I would be happy to give you advice and everything else on how to start and what I recommend on getting started and getting the most of what you got. So I look forward to checking in with you. And thank you very much. I appreciate the kind words.
And I actually have one idea, which I already shared on Discord, but I'm going to share it here. And I already shared with my mom because I need help to get her everything I need. Is the crash daddies couldn't do the crash reconstruction, but with the stuff we have at home, get ingredients from the store or scrapyard. You can recreate something similar and see, which is going to be to see if I can do it in the winter. So, so we can recreate even the weather. I can do that.
This is what I'm excited about. You have a scientific background, an experiment mindset, and the ability and knowledge on how to do that. So that's something that you bring that's unique to the channel, unique to the space. A lot of us, I can mess with video, but actually recreating an accident and understand the physics and everything that's created there, that's where you're going to excel. I can't wait to see where your channel goes. I'm looking forward to it. I look forward for the email.
I have to thank Bones, the series, because they gave me the inspiration. After I watched it like a gazillion times on repeat, on rewatch, they gave me the inspiration on what to use, because I can't just go and buy a dummy, because I looked it up. It costs about $1 million to buy a crash dummy.
This is a dummy that has all the sensors on it to measure impact and everything else. Yeah, that's lots of money.
But I can get maybe a mannequin, or even I heard that a melon is a really good replica of a head, so I can do that.
Here's a suggestion. This might seem a little bit creepy, but you can get what's called a vegetable form, which is a hard plastic shell. It's clear, and what you do is you grow a melon. Okay, and while it's small, you put the melon inside these two forms and you screw the ends down, and it's like the shape of a head. The melon will actually grow and fill the entire shape of the head. Yeah. You will have a head-shaped melon, which can be used for all your. You can decorate it, you can paint it. It will look like a head. It's just when it breaks open, it will be watermelon inside or cantaloupe or something else. It's pretty funny. So I suggest that. I don't know how much they cost, but you can get all sorts of different shapes.
That sounds very good, but you're forgetting that I live in Sweden and that it is not so good climate to grow melons. So
you're going to need a greenhouse
like
first.
That is important.
Import melon or head-shaped melons. Let's see if we can find those for you. Angela, thank you very much. Good talking to you. I look forward to seeing your channel. We'll see you.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right. Now we can go ahead and let you guys go for the evening. That's wonderful. Looking forward to having the updated thumbnail tomorrow for the Alec Baldwin trial. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's also going to be very interesting. You're going to see some of the best lawyering that money can buy in this trial, as we already have. So it's going to be great. Wow, what did we do today? We did court hopping. We did a Young Thug 233-page document read in 2 streams. We did a Canton Select Board meeting, and just did just an overall, a quick once-over of the breaking news of the day, where there was AZ's news out of the Kelly case, all the updates on the other trials we're watching. It's all good. All right. Thank you, everybody. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone. Make their day just a little bit better. And please stay safe till we go live again tomorrow morning about, I'm going to say 9 o'clock, because we've got a couple hours. I think court starts at 11. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. We've got like all morning. We'll probably do a little bit of court hopping first thing in the morning, and then do a portal to the Alec Baldwin trial, which we will follow through its duration throughout the day. Opening statements tomorrow. We'll have witnesses on the stand probably by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we'll start tracking that and obviously building our thumbnail. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much. Thanks to our amazing mods who make this all possible. I could not do this without them. Thank you. Thanks for making this the community that it is, which I think is the best community to watch true crime. I couldn't thank you enough. From my family, from all of us, thank you for making this possible. This is a dream come true for me. You guys be good to each other. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Because he's the guy.
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
Shame on you, sir. What more do you need to see? How does he do that?
I'm not a camp.